The Green Bay Packers making a trade offer for Micah Parsons has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, and it's easy to see why. Parsons has emerged as one of the premier defensive talents in the league, and any movement involving him immediately grabs attention. The Dallas Cowboys find themselves in a complicated position, balancing the pursuit of a defensive juggernaut with their ongoing financial commitments. Parsons, after all, is not just another player. He is a potential franchise cornerstone, someone who could redefine the Cowboys' defensive identity for years to come. The timing of this situation only adds to the drama. The Cowboys could have extended Parsons' contract last offseason, a move that might have preserved millions of dollars and kept one of the game's top defensive talents fully committed. Instead, they delayed, creating tension and speculation as training camp progressed under the watchful eye of Brian Schottenheimer, the team's first-year head coach. The combination of contract uncertainty and the pressure of a rookie head coach navigating his inaugural camp has made the Cowboys' preseason an uncharacteristically chaotic affair. From the outside, it raises immediate questions. Will Dallas eventually secure Parsons with an extension, or is the franchise open to exploring trade options to maximize value? The financial backdrop adds even more intrigue. The Cowboys already carry the highest valuation of any NFL team, topping $11 billion. Yet they have been carefully navigating the salary cap, especially after handing Dak Prescott a record-setting contract that vaulted him to the highest-paid quarterback in league history. CeeDee Lamb, too, has been locked into a lucrative deal, leaving Dallas in a position where balancing talent acquisition with fiscal responsibility is no small task. Against this backdrop, the Packers' move becomes fascinating. Green Bay has been actively seeking to bolster its pass rush throughout the offseason, showing interest in players like Trey Hendrickson, who has yet to finalize an extension with the Bengals. Bringing in a player like Parsons wouldn't just be a headline-grabbing transaction. It would address one of the most critical needs in the Packers' defensive scheme. While Green Bay's offense has consistently impressed with its youth and depth, the defensive line has struggled to maintain consistency, especially in generating pressure against elite quarterbacks. Adding Parsons could transform the Packers into a team with a truly fearsome front, pairing him alongside established players like Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, and Lucas Van Ness. Parsons' ability to disrupt passing games would make Green Bay's defensive outlook far more intimidating, especially against quarterbacks who thrive under pressure, such as Patrick Mahomes. Understanding this, the broader NFL takes notice. Historically, the way to neutralize elite signal callers is straightforward in concept, but incredibly challenging in execution. Get after the quarterback. The Eagles' blueprint in Super Bowl 59 demonstrated this perfectly. They applied relentless pressure without relying on blitz-heavy schemes, generating 26 pressures and 6 sacks, translating to a pressure rate approaching 43%. Their playoff run further highlighted the importance of an aggressive defensive line, recording 92 pressures and 15 sacks over 4 games. These metrics underscore a critical point. Adding a disruptive force like Parsons doesn't just elevate a defense statistically, it fundamentally alters the way opposing teams approach an entire game plan. For Philadelphia, this dynamic carries direct implications. Opening the season against Dallas means any changes to the Cowboys roster, particularly at the defensive end, are magnified in significance. If Parsons remains in Dallas, Eagles fans can anticipate a daunting challenge to start the campaign, while a potential trade to Green Bay could shift the balance of power in unexpected ways. The stakes are further amplified by the league's scheduling, where inter-conference rivalries and repeated matchups place a premium on both preparation and adaptability. Beyond trades, the human element in football often goes unnoticed but remains essential in evaluating the health and readiness of a team. Take, for example, the situation with Landon Dickerson. Early concerns about his knee injury created understandable alarm among Eagles supporters, given the potential severity of meniscus and ligament injuries. However, recent developments offer a dose of optimism. Dickerson, who underwent surgery earlier this week, was already back on the practice field, moving with confidence and even carrying a heavy cooler, a task that demands not just mobility, but functional strength and stability. This moment is more than just a feel-good story. It's a tangible signal that the Eagles' training and medical staff are managing player recovery with precision, allowing key contributors to return in a manner that protects both immediate performance and long-term health. The optics also play a subtle but impactful role in team culture. Seeing players like Dickerson engaged in such exercises and even sharing lighthearted moments reminiscent of football's classic eras reinforces camaraderie and mental resilience, qualities that can be as decisive as any tactical adjustment during a high-stakes game. Meanwhile, across the league, appreciation for cerebral skill sets continues to influence player evaluation and development. Peyton Manning's admiration for Jalen Hurts exemplifies this intersection of physical prowess and mental acuity. Manning, a quarterback renowned for his pre-snap processing and strategic insight, recognizes Hurts' unique combination of athleticism, leadership, and analytical understanding of the game. Hurts' commitment to study, reaching out with questions, and dissecting plays with a level of intellectual engagement that mirrors coaching chains dating back decades, is a testament to his growth. The implications are twofold. It validates Hurts' skill set at the highest level and offers a framework for aspiring quarterbacks to emulate. Physical traits, speed, arm strength, and mobility often capture the headlines, but is the cerebral aspect, the ability to anticipate, adjust, and innovate under pressure, that differentiates elite quarterbacks from merely good ones. This recognition from Manning also provides a counter-narrative to the criticism Hurts faces from casual observers, who may focus on perceived shortcomings while overlooking the nuanced, high-level competencies that make him successful. Understanding and respecting this balance between perception and performance is crucial when evaluating talent across the NFL. It's not just about what a player does in isolation, but how they integrate knowledge, instinct, and teamwork to impact outcomes over the course of a full season. Within this ecosystem, every trade rumor, injury update, and coaching decision interconnects, shaping both team strategies and fan expectations in ways that extend far beyond a single highlight or news cycle. As the NFL offseason progresses, the league's intricate web of player movement, contract negotiations, and strategic planning continues to unfold like a high-stakes chess match. Teams are not simply acquiring talent. They are redefining identities, leveraging salary cap flexibility, and anticipating opponents' next moves in ways that demand both foresight and adaptability. The Dallas Cowboys situation with Micah Parsons exemplifies this complexity, but it is far from isolated. Every franchise faces similar challenges, where balancing short-term competitiveness with long-term sustainability is a daily negotiation. Parsons, at the center of speculation, represents a unique case study in value and impact. His combination of speed, strength, and instinct makes him a nightmare for offensive coordinators, capable of altering protection schemes with a single snap. He is equally adept at setting the edge against the run, collapsing pockets from the interior, or tracking quarterbacks across the field in coverage. This versatility is rare and contributes to the calculus behind potential trades or extensions. The Cowboys, aware of these attributes, are navigating a delicate balance. Offering a long-term deal too early risks financial strain, particularly given the commitments already made to Prescott, Lamb, and others, while delaying an extension introduces the risk of losing Parsons to trade discussions. The Packers' interest magnifies the stakes because Green Bay has both the resources and the strategic need to transform its defense. The addition of Parsons could shift their defense from good to elite, pairing him with a deep, talented front that already boasts multiple Pro Bowl caliber players. But Green Bay's pursuit also reflects a broader trend in the NFL: the premium on disruptive defensive playmakers who can single-handedly influence the outcome of games. Teams are increasingly analyzing advanced metrics, such as pressure rates, pass rush win percentage, and situational effectiveness, to determine which players provide the most leverage per snap. Parsons ranks near the top across these categories, making him not just a desirable player, but a mathematically impactful one. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, Integrating financial prudence with on-field ambition remains a persistent challenge. The league's current salary cap environment, despite incremental increases, still demands careful allocation. Allocating large portions to a single position, even one as transformative as Parsons' role, can limit flexibility in addressing other areas of need. This creates tension between immediate defensive dominance and holistic roster construction. Beyond financial and strategic considerations, the human dimension adds another layer of complexity. Player morale, team culture, and leadership dynamics are essential but often invisible factors. Parsons, widely recognized for his intensity and professionalism, commands respect in any locker room. His presence elevates teammates, pushing them to higher performance levels while serving as a role model for younger players navigating the rigors of professional football. Similarly, in Dallas, the team's leadership faces the challenge of keeping the roster motivated and focused amid uncertainty. Coaching strategies must balance transparency with prudence, providing players with reassurance without undermining negotiation leverage or revealing too much to potential trade partners. Meanwhile, other teams are closely monitoring the situation. Opponents in the NFC and beyond recognize the strategic implications of Parsons' potential movement. For Philadelphia, whose opening games hinge on both offensive efficiency and defensive stability, the news from Dallas and Green Bay is far from trivial. The Eagles' front office must consider how these developments might affect game planning, roster prioritization, and even draft strategy. Speaking of draft strategy, the interplay between current rosters and incoming talent adds yet another layer. Teams continuously assess the relative value of proven stars versus high-upside rookies, weighing the certainty of established performance against the potential for rapid development. This calculation influences not only trades, but also draft board positioning, free agency moves, and contract extensions. In essence, every transaction, whether executed or rumored, cascades across the league, shaping decision-making processes in ways that extend far beyond a single franchise. Injuries, too, remain a critical component of the off-season landscape. Landon Dickerson's recovery exemplifies the importance of proactive, precise medical oversight. His rapid return to mobility drills and functional exercises not only impacts his individual readiness, but also signals the Eagles' capacity to maintain roster stability in high-stakes situations. Injuries at the quarterback or line positions can ripple across an entire season, influencing game outcomes, playoff seeding, and even coaching evaluations. Observing Dickerson's progress provides reassurance that the Eagles are managing these risks effectively, blending athletic development with medical science to optimize both performance and longevity. At the quarterback position, the recognition of mental acuity remains equally pivotal. Jalen Hurts' continued growth underlines the evolving nature of quarterback evaluation in the NFL. Beyond raw athleticism, modern offenses demand rapid decision-making, pre-snap adjustments, and precise execution under pressure. Hurts' engagement with figures like Peyton Manning highlights the critical importance of knowledge transfer, mentorship, and analytical rigor. Manning's acknowledgement of Hurts' cerebral approach reinforces the notion that elite quarterbacks succeed not solely through physical tools, but through intellectual mastery of the game. For teams constructing rosters, this emphasis on football IQ informs both recruitment and development programs. Coaching staffs increasingly seek players who can process complex schemes, anticipate opponent tendencies, and adapt fluidly within dynamic game environments. This extends to all positions, from defensive ends interpreting blocking schemes to offensive linemen adjusting to stunts and blitzes in real time. Returning to the broader NFL landscape, the Parsons saga serves as a lens through which the league's competitive and operational complexity becomes evident. Trades, extensions, and negotiations are never isolated events. They interact with scheduling, divisional rivalries, and playoff trajectories. The ripple effect is visible in scouting reports, weekly game planning, and even media coverage as analysts dissect potential outcomes and project statistical impacts. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Josh Sweat, the dynamic defensive end whose career has been closely tied to the Philadelphia Eagles, has recently stirred the rumor mills with comments suggesting he may regret his decision to leave the franchise. Sources close to the situation hint that Sweat has been reflecting on his tenure in Philadelphia, a city where he experienced some of his most defining moments on the field, both in terms of individual performance and team success. The whispers circulating around league insiders indicate that Sweat's departure, initially framed as a strategic career move, might not have delivered the long-term satisfaction or competitive edge he anticipated. Those familiar with the defensive lineman's mindset suggest he has been contemplating the missed opportunities to build on the Eagles' defensive legacy and the camaraderie he enjoyed with teammates, which has sparked speculation among fans and analysts alike. Conversations with former teammates reportedly reveal that Sweat has been candid about the challenges of adapting to a new environment, both in terms of team culture and city life, hinting that nostalgia for Philadelphia is creeping into his professional reflections. The murmurs suggest that Sweat's comments could be interpreted not just as personal regret, but as an acknowledgement of the strategic miscalculation of leaving a team with a robust defensive system, supportive coaching staff, and a fan base that consistently energized him, leading to conjecture about whether a reunion could be on the horizon. Adding fuel to these speculative fires, insiders have begun to suggest that Sweat's reflections on his departure from the Eagles are rooted in more than just sentimentality. Analysts observing team rosters and player movements hint that Sweat may be evaluating his career trajectory with a critical lens, questioning whether the change in scenery has offered the same level of competitive exposure and opportunity to contend for championships as Philadelphia did. The buzz around league circles posits that Sweat's comments could be strategic, potentially signaling a willingness to explore options that might facilitate a return to familiar turf, where he feels his impact on the field is maximized and his presence is fully integrated into a system designed around his strengths. Some reports suggest that Sweat's decision to leave was influenced by immediate financial incentives and contractual considerations, which, in hindsight, may not have outweighed the intangible benefits he previously enjoyed with the Eagles. The speculation grows as industry commentators dissect his recent performances, noting that while he has maintained impressive statistics, the intangible elements of motivation, community support, and team cohesion may not have translated as effectively in his current setting. Rumors continue to swirl that Sweat's candid reflections could become a precursor to contract negotiations or trade talks, as agents and team executives interpret his statements as potential openings for strategic roster adjustments, all of which contributes to an ongoing narrative that has captivated both media and fans alike. Meanwhile, fan forums and social media channels have been ablaze with interpretations of Sweat's recent admissions, further amplifying the perception that his departure from the Eagles might be a source of personal regret. Enthusiasts speculate endlessly about the dynamics between Sweat and the coaching staff, theorizing that the defensive end's previous alignment with Philadelphia's strategic defensive playbook allowed him to flourish in ways that may not have been replicated in his current environment. The buzz in these online communities underscores a narrative that his skill set, combined with the familiarity of the Eagles system, produced a level of performance and consistency that has been challenging to match elsewhere. Rumors suggest that even minor tactical adjustments in his current team may not resonate with Sweat's natural style, creating subtle tensions between expectation and execution. Observers note that professional athletes often grapple with the dual forces of career advancement and the loyalty felt toward formative organizations. And in Sweat's case, the suggestion that he is reconsidering his choices invites ongoing speculation about whether he might seek a mid-career recalibration. As whispers of potential moves intensify, insiders hint that conversations with Philadelphia representatives, even informal, could be occurring behind the scenes, sparking debates about whether such engagements signaled the early stages of negotiations or merely friendly exchanges with a former team he clearly still respects and values. Industry insiders have also begun to weigh in on how Sweat's potential reconsideration of his departure might impact team dynamics, both within his current franchise and hypothetically if a return to the Eagles were to materialize. Analysts speculate that his reintegration into Philadelphia's locker room could have ripple effects on roster construction, defensive schemes, and leadership hierarchies, as Sweat's presence carries both experience and a reputation for tenacity on the field. The rumor mill posits that any move back would necessitate careful negotiation to balance team chemistry, salary cap considerations, and a strategic alignment of personnel, but the very fact that such speculation exists underscores the lingering sentiment surrounding his departure. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.